I have been avoiding this Epstein and Bitcoin conversation like the plague. And it's less about Bitcoin and more about how people process information. There's this pattern that I keep seeing. Something gets released, someone posts a headline, someone else adds a spin, and then uses AI to summarize it. Then social media turns it into a story. And suddenly, everyone's confident about something that they haven't actually verified. That's what's happening right now. Now, let's be very clear first. Before anything else, let me say this plainly. Jeffrey Epstein was a monster. There is no ambiguity there, no moral debate, no need to soften the language. This conversation is not about defending him, it's about minimizing crimes, and it's not about questioning victims. So if that's where someone's head goes, they're missing the point entirely. So, what is this video actually about? This is about how people on social media take incomplete information and try to manufacture a certainty. You see a document dump, a clip, a quote without context, and then someone says, I know who Satoshi really is. They don't say who, they don't show proof, but the implication is just enough. People run with it, as you've seen in this Dan Pena video. You've seen it 100 times before. And now, suddenly, there's a narrative floating around that Bitcoin funds pedophiles or that owning Bitcoin makes you complicit. That's not critical thinking. That's headline addiction. See, most people haven't done the work and will not do the work. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Most people talking about Bitcoin have never read the white paper. They don't know when it was written. They don't know what problem it was solving. They don't even understand how the network works. They don't know the difference between an open source protocol, a company, an exchange, and a person. Yet, somehow, they're confident enough to assign moral guilt to anyone who holds the asset. That is concerning. It concerns me. Let me give you the facts without the drama. There is no proven identity of Satoshi Nakamoto. That's not denial, it's just reality. I also believe it's a great idea. See, Bitcoin was introduced in 2008 through a white paper titled Bitcoin, a peer-to-peer electronic cash system. The creator used a pseudonym, published the code, launched the network, then disappeared into the sunset. The early coins tied to that identity have never moved. This is not speculation. This is observable on the blockchain. Over the years, many people have tried to insert themselves into the story, some with money, some with influence, and some with just pure ego. Proximity does not equal authorship. Being around something does not mean you created it. Narratives are not evidence, and I got to get this through you guys' head. Here's what's really happening. See, there's people who don't understand Bitcoin, don't like Bitcoin, or missed out on the opportunity of Bitcoin, are now using moral narratives to justify emotional conclusions. Instead of saying, I don't understand this, or I don't want to invest in this, they say, this is evil. It's a Ponzi scheme. See, that move shuts down the discussion without requiring any understanding. And it's lazy. And it's becoming very common. See, people use wit and ChatGPT and headlines to actually create dialogue. You don't have to like Bitcoin. And let me say this clearly. You don't even have to buy it. That's what's the crazy part. You don't have to like it. You don't have to trust it. And you don't have to invest in it. And that is completely fine. You can live a beautiful life without it. But there's a difference between opting out and rewriting reality to feel justified. There's also a difference between criticism and a narrative manufacturing something. See, Bitcoin is a protocol, not a personality. Bitcoin is not a person, is not a company, and it's not a belief system. It's an open protocol. No central power, no royalty, and no moral alignment baked into the code. Just rules, math, and voluntary participation. This is actually the intrinsic value that people are trying to say it doesn't have. See, trying to attach the worst people on earth to a neutral system doesn't make you ethical. It makes you just a person who's unserious and just negative, to be matter of fact. The bigger issue is that this isn't really about Epstein, and it's not really about Bitcoin. It's about how quickly people form convictions without doing the work. quick searches, AI summaries, and hot takes. The same thing that they claim that the people who talk about the stuff is accused of. See, then they have this confidence. And that's dangerous combination if you actually look at that. So you don't need to defend Bitcoin. And you also don't need to attack it. But if you're going to talk about it, do it honestly, not with just hype and narrative. Read the history, understand the structure, separate the facts from narratives, and stop pretending that not liking something gives you permission to rewrite what it actually is. That distinction still matters, even when the internet pretends that it doesn't.